Hey everyone, it's me, Julian Greystoke. I'm wearing the makeup that I wear for the play I'm in because I have to go be in the play in a little bit. So I just put my makeup on and I figured kill two birds with one stone. Get my makeup done ahead of time and film some videos for you. If you would like to know more about the play I'm in and the character specifically that I am playing, I have a video on my Patreon where I talk all about her and that whole situation. I am a spirit, hence the glitter. For as little as $1 a month, you can support me on Patreon and get access to exclusive content not seen here on the regular channel. Today we're going to do a video that I think some of you, at least a few of you, look forward to, and that is my sort of end-of-year review of my bests and worsts, books that I loved and books that I hated. So I'm going to kind of go with like 4 and 5 star books for loved and my 1 stars for hated, and we're just going to go through and look at some of the tops and bottoms of my year. I have my laptop candy here. We have Goodreads all loaded up and ready to go. I might also include DNFs. I did DNF quite a few books this year. I'm definitely, I think, getting better at deciding when I'm not enjoying a book and I should just give up and go to something else that I enjoy. Can't guarantee I'll remember why I DNF'd a lot of these books. We'll find out. We start out the year with a couple of low ratings, but not the bottom. But then we get, on January 17th, we get a DNF of Station 11. I remember I just really was not feeling it. I wasn't into the characters, and while I did enjoy the premise, it got really boring after a while, and I just stopped. However, right after it, I do have a 4 star, which is pretty good. Like, 4 star means I really liked the book. It just wasn't the perfect book for me. I'm very, very picky with my 5 stars. So my 4 star was for My Best Friend's Exorcism, which I do have a review of here on this channel. It's kind of a contemporary horror, and it takes it in a different direction, and I really liked it. My next 1 star is on February 11th, and it is After the End, and I don't remember a thing about it. Like, maybe I'll go look at my review and see what I said. Unlike most of my 1 star earners, I don't feel strongly about this book, but after I finished it, I couldn't think of a single thing to recommend. Every twist was predictable within the first few minutes of listening. I listened to the audio. And I just had to sit around waiting for the heroes to catch up, which they did not do until late in the story. The characters were bland with a capital blah. Nothing made our deeply average breeding pair stand apart from any other books in the genre. I would not be able to pick this author out of a crowd of bland, average, dystopian YA writers. So yeah, I was not impressed with that one, can you tell? By the way, if you want to get my thoughts on books right after I read them, please check out my Goodreads, because that's where I leave shorter reviews. And then if a book makes me feel some kind of way, I'll do a longer review here on the channel. Right after it, though, I have a 4 star in The Rest of Us Just Live Here, which I remember liking. I don't really know if I would give it a 4 star now. Like, thinking back on it, I'm like, maybe it really is more of a 3 star. I cannot remember if I did a review of it. I might, I guess, look around for it. Otherwise, I know it was mentioned in one of my wrap-ups. It's about a bunch of kids who live in a world full of other people who are superheroes, and it's about the kids who are not superheroes. And I liked that angle. Next, I have my first 5 star on February 21st, and that is Educated, which is a nonfiction book. It's about a girl who grew up in a survivalist family in the mountains of Idaho, and she had like no education, and she spent her whole life like stockpiling for the end of the world, and like how she got out of that and how she became educated. I love sort of narrative seeming nonfiction and memoirs, that kind of thing. My next 4 star was The 7 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle. I do have a review of it, so go check that out. I won't talk too much about it, except that I liked it. My next DNF was Seeker, and I don't remember a damn thing about it, so yep. So I made it quite a while in between there with a lot of 2 and 3 stars. Nothing really to report there. But the next one was Zenith, which there's a whole read-along for, so you can understand why I gave it only 1 star. Wow, it was such a confused and somehow deeply boring book, and just check out my read-along for that nonsense. My next 4 star was Finding Audrey on May 8th, and you can check out my review of that here on this channel. It's about a girl with severe anxiety. It's a contemporary, and I quite enjoyed it as someone with anxiety myself. However, I had a 1-star directly after it on May 3rd, and it was Not If I Save You First, which was supposed to be like a YA thriller, but I didn't find it very thrilling, and it was kind of actually obnoxious. Then after that, I have another 4-star in Slade House on May 6th. I do not remember much about it, unfortunately. Let me go look. I'm going to look at my review here. So if I remember correctly, this is sort of more like a collection of short stories. Not really. They all intertwine. They all have to do with the Slade House. But you don't get like one character that you follow through the whole story. You get like multiple. And I said, while my time with each character was short, I still found them each engaging and flawed. It could be a little broad, lacking in some lighter nuance you might get from a longer time with a character. I still found them each interesting enough to follow, as they were inevitably swallowed by the Slade House, or rather, the residents of Slade House. If that sounds kind of interesting to you, go check it out. I do think I have a review of it as well. Then I have a 5-star in On the Come Up by Angie Thomas, who wrote The Hate You Give, and I really liked On the Come Up. I was quite pleased with my read of it. I did not do a review, but I do have, I believe, a review on my Goodreads, so go check that out if you're interested. And then right after it, I have another 5-star. So I was on a roll in May with I Was Here. This was the story of a girl who is struggling with her best friend's suicide. And I thought it was so well done. As far as stories about that kind of subject go, I thought it was much better done than, say, 13 Reasons Why or anything like that, about the effects of suicide on the people who are left behind. I don't think I made a review of it, I can't remember, but I do mention it in a wrap-up, and also I have the review on Goodreads. I'm just going to keep reminding you that I have these reviews on Goodreads. My next 1-star was These Broken Stars, which was kind of a sci-fi romance, and nope, not for me, thank you. Shortly thereafter, I DNF'd Gunslinger Girl, but I gave a 4-star to 9 Perfect Strangers, which I still have yet to film a review of, but I am planning to do so. It kind of had a lot of things that I like in that it was very character-driven. It was kind of a thriller, but it was a very character-driven thriller, and I like that much more than most thrillers that kind of ignore the characters in favor of just getting everything to be exciting and tense. My next 5-star was Stolen Innocence, my story of growing up in a polygamous sect, becoming a teenage bride, and breaking free of Warren Jeffs. This one was another memoir, obviously, and it was breaking free from a cult, and I love cults. I'm fascinated by cults. And this was just such an affecting and interesting story to read. Afterward, it's kind of sticking with the nonfiction theme, although this is a little bit more fictionalized. I gave 4 stars to the first Call a Midwife book. The next book I gave 4 stars to is a zombie book. It's called The Reapers Are the Angels. I don't remember too much about it, but I know I will be filming a review of it eventually. I'm so behind on reviews, you guys. It's bad. But I did enjoy it, and not just because it was a zombie book. Next, I DNF'd a book called Don't You Cry, and I don't remember a damn thing about it. My next 5-star was The Prince and the Dressmaker, which is a short little graphic novel. It doesn't seem short, like it's chunky, but it's mostly pictures, so you will read it very quickly. It's such a sweet story. Oh my gosh, it made my heart so happy. I was grinning like an idiot. The whole ending just made me so happy. So definitely check it out. I do have a review of it here on the channel as well. I've kind of stopped saying the dates for these things because I suspect you guys don't really care. My next 1-star is The 100 Lies of Lizzy Lovett, which is hard to say. It's a tongue twister. And I don't remember too much about it except for it was really disappointing, and the premise that I was promised was not what I got, and I was disappointed. I had 3 DNFs in a row, and I don't know if it was me or the books, but my first one was the 5th season. It just wasn't character-driven enough for me. I know other people might argue and be like, oh, it's so character-driven, but I didn't like any of the characters, and I have to like at least one of them for me to keep reading a book. So I put it down. Then was Talon, which was a book about dragons, and it was a contemporary, it was one of those paranormal romance books which I usually don't go for, but I thought maybe with dragons I would be into it, and I wasn't, hating it, I just was not engaging with it, and I was finding it boring, so I did set it down. And the next one is Magic for Liars, which I believe I set down very quickly. I don't remember a thing about it, but I know it wasn't for me. I did have another long spell of 2s and 3s, But my next 1 star was The Woman in Cabin 10. I've been trying to get into reading thrillers more. I love the idea of thrillers. I just wish that they were more character-oriented, because I don't just want to feel like shit's going down because the book is telling me shit's going down. I want to feel with the main character. I want to feel like I am so in danger along with them, and so many thrillers that I found just don't have that strong character base, and I can't get into them, and I think that was a problem I had with Woman in Cabin 10 as well, and I don't know, I kind of want to read some of my review, because I don't really remember why I didn't like it. Oh look, it was the characters that I complained about. The biggest thing for me, surprise surprise, were the characters. How flat can you get, especially the MC? She's not a person, she's anxiety wearing a meat suit. When will authors learn that mental illness symptoms are not a personality? Who is she? What does she want? What does she enjoy or dislike? Unimportant when we could have her shun her #perfect boyfriend and jet off on a cruise where she immediately encounters a mystery. We don't even see her doing her job. She's a travel journalist, which is why she's on the cruise, but she doesn't even pretend to be working. She runs around all distressed, acting flighty, and doing the world's worst job of solving the case. The only reason she gets anywhere is because the bad guy freaks out after a certain point, even though I don't believe they were in any danger from this idiot. My next 4 star was Farewell to the East End, which is the Call the Midwife book number 3. The second book, I think I gave 2 stars, but I like the first and the third quite a lot. In fact, I would recommend, if you are interested in reading the Call the Midwife series, that you maybe even skip the middle one, because it's very different from the other two, and a lot of people don't like how much it deviates in style and tone and everything like that. And finally, my last 4 star here of the year was Sculpt Yourself by fellow author tuber Savvy Laser. I don't know how to pronounce her last name, I'm sorry, Lizer. Anyway, it's Savvy. It's Savvy. And I liked her book enough to give it 4 stars, and there will be a review coming out later on the channel. I don't know when, but it's coming, and you'll find out why I gave it 4 stars. So there you go. Those are my DNFs, 1 star, and 4 and 5 star books this year. I hope I got them all. If not, feel free to go back through and look at my reviews and see what I've read and see if you agree or disagree. There's a lot of reviews that I did of books that got 2 stars and stuff like that I didn't mention here in this sort of wrap up at the end of the year. Did you guys like this? Do you like these kind of end of the year, wrap up things where we all look back on how our year went? I kind of enjoy them, obviously, or I wouldn't be doing it. Like I said, if you liked what you saw, I have a ton of stuff on this channel, all arranged in neat little playlists, so you can go check those out. I post new videos every damn Monday and Friday, and all the links to my social media are in the doobly-doo for ease of your clicking. It's mostly pictures of my pets, but why wouldn't you want that? They're adorable. And I will see all of you again next time with whatever it is I happen to be doing next time. Bye! Well, it's that time again. It's time to thank my amazing patrons of the month. This month we have Lennox, Amanda, Baruch, Irene, Jenny, Kim, Lisa, Sabby Panda, Sam, Sarah, Savvy, and Scribbling Cat. And I hope all my patrons continue to support me because they are the very best, like no one ever was.